Evening, all you Hogs media listeners and fans out there. We're back again with another one. And, we come to you with a new sport. Baseball's back, and basketball struggles have continued. Your thoughts?
Yeah. Oh man. I'll say we did better than I thought we would against Mississippi State.
Oh, I thought we did way better than I was expecting. I was expecting us to
Yeah.
go now.
I mean, the betting line I think was 9.5 for Mississippi State. I think I saw one that was maybe like 12 or 12.5. And hey, we made it a game. We had a
Should have
chance.
won. We should have
We
won.
should have won. Um, should we talk about the game as a whole, or should we start by talking about kind of the last minute or last 2 minutes?
Let's start with the last 2 minutes, and then so what do you think? What do we do wrong in the last 2 minutes to lose the game?
So, couple things. One, I know a lot of people out there are going to want to like immediately say like, "Oh, if Ellis just makes his free throws, then it's a different story." Yes, free throws are important. But I do just want to like say Ellis had one of his better games of the year. His Duke game was a better game, but overall, like bringing up the stats on Ellis, he had, let's see, uh, sorry, I should have already had this pulled up. He had 4 assists, which is like, you know, one of our highest assist
Yeah.
games from anyone this year. 8 points, but on limited shooting, 3 of 6 shooting. So he was efficient in his shooting. He only had one turnover. And in the last, few seconds when he on the final play, essentially what we should call the final play, he made the right read and got it to Devo.
It was open.
Like he could have easily forced a bad shot. He could have easily tried to force a bad pass to Makai Mitchell, which is what Devo ended up doing 10 seconds later. But he made Ellis made the right call. So I just want to defend Ellis on a little bit on missing the free throws. Yeah, the couple that he missed there, those were rough. Those were brutal. They definitely didn't help. Um, but here is kind of what I think happened. So Devo gets the ball with I believe it was like 14 seconds left when he catches the ball. He's wide open for a three-pointer. And we're down by one, right? So we don't need a three. If we get a two, obviously the way Makai Mitchell was playing, it was like that makes sense. Go up by one. But I have a feeling that Coach Muss told them, no matter what, let's get the shot up with no time left,
Yeah.
or less than 5 seconds. And when we started the possession, there was 29 seconds on the clock, like a full possession. Any basketball team will tell you, like, it's hard, unless you're just holding the ball,
Yeah.
which you don't want to, like you get a 5 second penalty or whatever. Maintaining a good possession for 30 seconds is tough. You have to give up a lot of good looks. And if you're not giving up good looks over the course of 30 seconds, like, then you're probably being defended pretty well. And then you're going to end up getting in a situation where you're trapped or you're stuck with 3 or 4 seconds left. So Devo gets it. And I think there's a lot of people out there saying that Devo just didn't want to shoot it. That could be the case.
Yeah.
But I think we know, and I think Devo knows that he can be clutch when he needs to be clutch, right? He's shown it in the tournament. He's shown it
Obviously, if
in
anybody's clutch, it's him.
it's him. So I really don't think he hesitated on the wide open shot out of a fear of the moment.
Yeah.
I think he thought to himself, there's still way too much time left. If I take this shot and even if I make it, Mississippi State's going to get a 15-second, 14-second possession, which is a great length of time for a possession. So I think Devo drove it in to try to continue to whittle that clock below, 8, 7 seconds. And then obviously that was just the wrong call. Makai, everyone on Mississippi State was knowing that they were gonna go to Mackay. They'd had zero
He
respect for Debo.
dominated.
He was doing great. I rewatched the play a few times, and I know in the moment it's hard to see it, when there's defenders everywhere. But literally, by the time Devo like got to the stop where he like kicked it to Mackay, the defender completely pulled off of Chandler Lawson and jumped up. So if he would have like faked or even just like stopped, Chandler Lawson was like wide open on the block. And he could have just like got it right underneath that guy and
Oh,
could have just caught it and just laid up an easy dunk. Well, you never know with Chandler Lawson what he'll do. But
story of this season. What
yeah,
could have
or
been.
this season or
What
whatever.
could
Like he
have
could
been.
catch it wide open and try to do like a spin dribble move, and you're like,
Yeah,
what are
or
you
he would have
doing,
kicked it
dude?
out. He was, oh, no, I know.
Be the 7'8" wingspan. Like, just go. Anyway, sorry, Lawson. Not mean to throw shade. Anyway, my thought is with all of that being the case, with Musselman, my guess is Musselman told them like, do not shoot it until we're at least under 7 or 6 seconds, or whatever. In that case, what I would have done is maybe run just like a decoy play for 10 seconds or 12 seconds and then call a timeout with 15 seconds. Like, don't even try to run a play. Like, literally just pass it in, do a couple passes up around the perimeter. You can hold the ball for a few seconds, take a couple dribbles, hold the ball for a few seconds, call a timeout at 16 seconds or 15 seconds, and then run your play, right? Because then every guy knows, like, okay, cool, we have 15 seconds, we can go. Like, as soon as we get it in, we can find the open man, we can drive to the bucket, we can do a kickoff. If I have a wide open three, it's still a good look. And if I miss, there's still at least enough time to get a rebound or get a foul or something like that. But I think by asking us to like run a good possession for a full 29, I think it just got in Devo's head. We got in our heads, made one too many passes, and that was the game.
Yeah, I agree. But overall, I mean, watching throughout the whole game, I thought it was one of our better games played overall. We moved pretty well. We passed really well. Even the announcers highlighted like how well we were moving, like figuring out like standing and just watching people dribble is not in a good offense. And we were feeding Makai Mitchell. I think if we just feed our inside guys and they're having a good day, it makes us so much more effective offensively. The
Yeah.
shooters battle had one of his better games of the season.
Yeah. It
But
was good seeing
LL's
Battle get a little bit of his confidence back. Um, he had the opportunity to play through some mistakes. I don't know that coach had any other choice with Menafield being out, Mark being in foul trouble the whole game, Graham being out, Brazil continuing to be out.
I don't think Brazil's coming
And
back, but
I don't think so either. I mean,
he's done.
Brazil, please prove me wrong, but right now my perspective is your knee is sore, certainly, but playable, and you just don't want to.
He's done.
And you know what? We're not journalists, so we're allowed to say that because we're not part of the Arkansas Democratic Gazette and have to uphold journalistic standards. We are an opinion YouTube and podcast show, so we can
Exactly.
spew
No,
whatever opinions we want.
I don't think he's actually. He might have knee soreness, but everybody that plays basketball for a while has knee soreness. I mean, that's a normal thing.
Hmm.
So I think
Yeah,
yeah, he's just getting ready for the NBA at this point.
yeah. My 2 cents. Hey, I don't know. Hopefully, I'm wrong. I guess it would be a lot easier to feel like I'm wrong if there was just some kind of diagnosis, tendonitis or a sprained, even call it something like a sprained knee or a this, but it was like, I think it happened in the was the Ole Miss game where he like jumped up and kind of like got undercut by a guy and
Yeah,
like fell, and the guy tried to like catch his leg. And it was on that play, actually. If you go back, like right after that play, Brazil was kind of slow to get up. He
yeah.
kind of like looked at coach. He played a couple more possessions that game, but then sat. And then after that was when he, didn't come back. So I think it was on that play. Like I think the guy, I think he tweaked his knee a little bit. So I do believe that there was like, a tweak. I don't, I'm sure it felt
I'm sure there was,
uncomfortable.
but he's been out for what, 3 weeks now? Two,
Yeah,
three?
it's been 3 weeks. And it's like at a certain point, you would think like, oh, this is officially a sprain or officially a this or that, and it's like, it's continuing to be
Soreness.
soreness, which is like, okay, like,
All right. Everybody and their grandma has soreness of the knee in their lives, and you can't play. Come on.
um,
Just
come
say,
on.
like, they'll never say it out loud because for him, but as a fan, it's annoying. It's knee soreness. Okay. Well, probably not.
Yeah. Um, but it gave Battle the chance to get some minutes. We ended up finding out that Menafield in the first half suffered a little bit of an injury, I think in his groin. That's why we didn't see him in the second half. Um, and so yeah, Battle just continued to play through. He was 7 of 13 shooting, so over 50%. That's good. 0 of 4 from 3-pointer, and a couple of them were good looks. There's two or three like open ones that you're like, dude, that's your shot. And then there was maybe one or two that were like, okay, like maybe don't take that one. But 0 for 4, that hurts. But he scored 18. He got a couple rebounds, had a couple assists. He played a good game. Played one of his best games, his best game of conference play for sure.
I would agree. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
The thing that bothers me is that we'll show like potential in these games, like play pretty well, maybe not win, but we'll show like a good effort, and then we'll come out the next game and just play awful.
play awful. That's what happened with after Kentucky, right?
Yeah,
What happened after our first Texas A&M win. We beat A&M, and then South Carolina blows us out at home.
that's the thing. It's
We
like there's
destroy Mizzou and they get
no
blown out
win.
at LSU. We play well against Kentucky and then lose. Who was it that we played right after Kentucky? Someone. And
Thing we keep it close to these good teams, and then you see the post, biggest home loss in Hog history, biggest home loss in 30 years, and it's what is happening?
yeah,
What do
yeah,
we do? I, as a fan on Saturday, I kind of forgot we even had a basketball game. I'm not gonna lie. I was
yeah,
completely thinking about baseball. I'm like, oh, we got a game at 1 today, and they're like, oh yeah, basketball's at noon or whatever. I'm like, oh
yeah.
yeah, we do play today. It's just such a lost season.
It really is. Our last couple games, so this game against Mississippi State, our 3-point shooting was 17%. Against I guess the two games before that it was better. It was 34% against Tennessee, 35 against Georgia. Um and then and 23% against LSU the game before that. So like
Yeah,
two out of our last four games, we shot 23% or worse from three. It's so bad. And that was like such a point of emphasis in the offseason. It was like, we're gonna get shooters. It's like,
we're not.
where are they? Like, good Lord. Like the only guy that was making any was Devo Davis, who's not even supposed to be our one of our 3-point shooters. Like it was supposed to be Davenport, Battle,
Yeah.
maybe Mark, Ellis, a little bit Keon. Like none of these guys were making it.
This is how bad we are right now. So you just brought up we beat A&M the last time we played them. Tomorrow we play them again, 6 o'clock. They are favored by 10.5 at home. Team we beat. And they're not even great this year. They're 15-10. Like that's a solid record, but not like anything to be
Yeah.
like shocked at.
Dude, ESPN Analytics has them as a 91% chance to win.
I see that. It's 90.3. I'm
Yeah,
looking at it right
90.3 to
now.
9.7. That is
So you're saying there's
roughly,
a
well,
chance.
yeah, you're saying there's just that's roughly the odds that we get when we're playing like a mid-major school. Like
Yeah.
when we're going against like Furman, it's like we're at like 92, 93%. Like that's how bad the world like views our team right now. They're like, yeah, you'll probably do about as well as like a small mid-major school against A&M. It's like, oh,
What we might be struggling, but and this is make some people mad. At least we're not Missouri. At least
oh
we're not
man.
Missouri. They're 0-12 on a 12-game losing streak, and they're 8-17 overall. So you know what? Screw you, Missouri. Because you gave
You
us so much
know, I
crap in
guess I
football.
guess we're supposed to hate Mizzou, which I don't care for Mizzou, but at 3 and what are we in league?
3
3-10,
and 9.
3-9, like to me, that's not enough to use the at least terminology. Like if we were like 6-7 or 5-8, maybe, but like 3-9 is still
Hey,
like,
it's better than
are
zero.
we
It's
better
better than
though?
zero.
Is it though? Like,
It is. Yes, it is. It is in any shape. Anything is better than zero. Not by much. I'm not saying we're world beaters, but we are a little bit better.
just from a like morale perspective, I feel like 0-3 feel the same.
We are, let's see, 3, 6, 9. We are 12th in conference. Vanderbilt and Missouri are below us.
Man, I hate that the CBS guy, Nice Wonder, is that his name? In preseason, when everyone was saying Arkansas's top three in the SEC, he was the one guy on the CBS Sports Show. Him and Gary Parrish. Um, he was the one guy who said, I have Arkansas finishing eighth or ninth. And I went after him, on Twitter and YouTube. It was like, no way, you're crazy. I hate that he was right.
We have,
Like
okay.
he was actually even wrong in his low ball of us. Like we're gonna finish probably 11th or 12th.
If 11th, we have a chance. Georgia's one game ahead of us. We have the tiebreaker, but that is maybe 10th if we win it. So let me ask you this. We're 12 and 13 right now. We have A&M tomorrow on the road, Missouri at home Saturday, Vanderbilt at home, Kentucky at Kentucky, LSU at home, and at Alabama. Out of those games, how many do you think we win?
Two, maybe three. I think we get Mizzou,
We get Mizzou and Vandy.
we get Vandy, maybe LSU since we're at home.
Yeah, I don't think
I
we
don't
win
think
a
we
road
have.
game the rest of the year.
Yeah, we do. I mean, yeah. There's no way we're beating Alabama.
No way we're
Like
beating
they're
Kentucky.
getting like 100 points a game right now, dude. Their offense is insane. Their defense is vulnerable, but their offense is
That's
just
the same
insane.
story for them every year. Their offense is the same, and they can't play a lick of
Yeah,
defense every
yeah,
year. That's why
yeah,
they lose in the round of 32 because they can't play defense.
yeah. No, that's very true. Um, yeah. So there's no way we're beating them in Tuscaloosa.
We're not beating
Uh,
A&M at A&M.
we're not beating A&M at A&M. It's a long shot. If we come out and play fire, if we get some of our guys back, if Jalen Graham is good to go, if Keon's good to go, you know,
I think we
we
beat
have
the
a fighting
spread.
chance.
I
What'd
think
you say?
said we might beat the spread if we have all those guys back. 10.5.
Yeah, might beat the spread. I'll say this. I don't think we beat A&M. I'm not saying like we will. I'm saying like we can. I don't think we will, but we can.
I don't think we will either.
Yeah, Kentucky, we can't. Kentucky, we cannot beat in Rupp Arena this year.
They're
Alabama, we cannot beat in Alabama this year. It's just it's not in the cards. So yeah, we have to at least get our last three. LSU is very beatable.
that'll
And
leave
we're
it.
at home, so like that one is a 50-50 shot.
So that would make us 15 and 16 going into the SEC tournament.
We can just well, no, I was gonna say if we could win one in the SEC tournament, we'll end 50-50, but that's not true because if
And we'll
we
lose. Yeah.
the next one we would go 16-17. So we have to win two in the SEC tournament and then lose, and we'll at least end 50%, baby. Let's
Yeah.
go.
If we win three, if we win those three, like we said, and we win three in the tourney, do we go to the NIT? We're gonna be 18 and 6.
Well,
I don't know how they do it
I
now.
still don't think we do. It depends on how many SEC schools make it to the big dance. So
I
if
think they have
nine,
9 right now.
yeah, they're projected at nine. But if we finish 11th or 12th, like the NIT might only want one SEC school, maybe two, but even then, if we're not 10 or 11, then, they're going to take Georgia and LSU ahead of us or whatever.
Yeah, I would see Georgia getting in before us. Honestly, Georgia's 14-11.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
Georgia would go ahead of us at this point. A&M would go ahead of us at this point.
So they have,
A&M could still
yeah, I
recruit,
think so they have Bama, Tennessee, Auburn, South Carolina, Florida, Kentucky. So A&M's that last team in the tournament, and then it cuts off at LSU.
Okay.
A&M's 15-10, and they're in the tourney. That's crazy. That is,
Yeah.
they're 6-6 in conference, and they lost
Yeah.
to us, which is now a bad loss.
Yeah. It's quad four loss.
It's a quad four loss losing to us this year.
Oh. Um, I got to run here in a second. Opening weekend of baseball, we got 3 out of 4 in a 4-game
Yeah.
series. Sunday was just
I mean, we had
random.
positive pitching. Mason Molina, transfer from Texas Tech, pitched real well, gave up about 2 earned runs in about 5 innings, I think is how long he went.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I don't know what happened. I kind of turned the game off for a little bit, had stuff to do, and then I come back and we're down whatever it was, and I go, "What the heck happened?" Because we were up.
Yeah. Top of the 7th, they scored 4 runs in 1 inning. And they just got on base.
Yeah,
Another guy got on base. Then a guy hit a double, and so they got 2 runs on that. Next guy came up, like hit another single, and then like another guy came up after that and hit a single, or something like that, or maybe it was a triple followed by like a good on base followed by a single, but either way, it was right one right after the other. It was just like, oh, that
it was
sucks.
kind of scary this weekend. You get to the first game on Friday, and you see Hagen Smith gives up a 3-run bomb in the first inning, and he only pitches 1 inning. He throws 42 pitches. It wasn't a great sign to start off the season, but then
I know.
Will McIntyre comes in, locks it down. We end up getting the win. You know, baseball is probably like the least popular watched wise of like Arkansas's major sports. Definitely not fans like going to the game. Commitment wise, I think that's like our best sport.
Mhm.
Everybody wants to go, but it's a grind these early season games.
Yeah. Yeah,
'Cause,
I mean they'll be fine. Preseason top 3. It's amazing. Um,
positive signs today, freshman Colin Fisher pitched 5 innings. I use these early season games because it's so tough to tell how good we're going to be when we're playing teams like James Madison. Like we're supposed to kick the crap out of them. It's like
mhm.
it's time to learn names because we get a bunch of transfers in baseball too. We got like 3 Hawaiians, a bunch of others, and it's like, who are these dudes?
Yeah.
Trying to figure out who's here this year. But
Yep.
maybe they'll give us hope. It's been a year of
Maybe.
sadness.
Maybe. The I mean we always obviously want to win big, but I feel like the baseball program has been so good that now the expectation is like win the SEC, win the SEC tournament, and
We
make it
gotta
at
win the
least to the
national
Final Four,
championship. It's
or
national
national.
championship or bust.
Yeah. So it's even in that, like we're not set up to like be happy
No,
there. Like with Arkansas basketball, like obviously we're a good program, but like if we finished third or fourth in the SEC
that's a big
and
deal.
made it to an Elite Eight, we'd still be like,
Successful
great,
season. Yeah.
successful season, great job, guys. In baseball, if we finish fourth in the SEC
What
and
happened? What did we do
like,
wrong?
yeah, and get knocked out like before the finals of the SEC tournament and don't make it at least to Omaha, then it's just like a bust.
Yeah, like
So
last year we won the SEC, don't make it ever our own regional, and everybody's like, well, there's a bust of a season
yeah, for real. It's like, guys,
because we're
we had an
just
off year.
so successful in baseball.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, I
That's
gotta cut it short and that I
that's
also
all.
ran
Yeah, I
late,
think.
but
Anyways,
gotta run.
all right. Thank you guys for listening and watching. We appreciate the support. See ya.
Yep.